I'm bowled over by one of the most marvelous sci-fi adventures that I've seen in my life. I'm talking about Dune Part 2. Good afternoon, this is Manjusha Radhakrishnan from Gulf News. I'm the entertainment editor, and currently I'm bowled over by one of the most marvelous sci-fi adventures that I've seen in my life. I'm talking about Dune Part 2. It's directed by Denis Villeneuve. The first installment was rolled out in 2021, and let me tell you, that was just scratching the surface. Dune Part 2, starring Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Josh Brolin, Austin Butler, Rebecca Ferguson. It's star-led. It's one of the most operatic and dense spectacles that I've seen in recent times. I know that the first part got around 10 Oscar nods, out of which it won around 6 for cinematography, sound, music, etc. But Dune Part 2 really takes you into this world of intergalactic warfare. It's set in the futuristic times where Timothée Chalamet is this reluctant leader. His entire family gets massacred by the warring tribes, and he is now on a quest for revenge. He joins with the desert people, and the movie is all about the fight for spice. It's one of those rare chemicals that people are fighting over because that holds the key to perhaps global domination. This is one of the most interesting movies in terms of the visual spectacle. You have to watch this movie on an IMAX screen. You watch it on your laptop or you watch it on a small screen, it's not going to work. It's just that you have to be immersed into that world and you have to surrender to Villeneuve's vision. He's easily one of the most impressive directors when it comes to scale and ambition. If you look at the music, you look at the acting, it's really amazing. Let me tell you, I'll be very honest with you, I'm not a fantasy nut. It's not like perhaps, I don't gravitate naturally towards sci-fi movies. But this movie had my heart, and I'll tell you why. I think this is one of the movies where this movie is not just a sci-fi marvel about a very rare mineral called spice set in the desert, the scale, etc. It's also about the human bonds. I mean, you look at Timothée Chalamet, who was very subdued and a reluctant leader in the first part. He comes into his own in the second part. He has this warrior tribe, he's far more skilled, and he has a mission that he wants to take revenge against those who killed and massacred his family. His mother, Lady Jessica, played brilliantly by Rebecca Ferguson, also has special powers. What I loved about this movie is that this is based on a 1965 iconic novel, Frank Herbert's. Director Denis Villeneuve has beautifully distilled one of the most unfilmable books perhaps, and distilled it into easy nuggets for us to consume. It's marvelous to look at. I mean, I remember this is nearly 2 hours and 44 minutes long. It's a long movie, but not even once did I look into my phone. It's because of how beautifully they've shot the film as well. The deserts in Abu Dhabi look just spectacular. Talking about what really spoke to me was the fact that this movie is about human relationships at its core. I mean, the overarching themes of, let's say, fate over free will, religion, etc. Of course, these are themes that there are subtexts and sub-layers. But what I loved about the movie is how Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya, both young, it's full of hope, their relationship, the choices that Timothée Chalamet's character Paul makes in the movie, etc. speaks to you. At no point does director Denis Villeneuve compromise perhaps scale over emotions. It's a great blend of both, and there are new additions to this movie as well that I thought was amazing. Austin Butler as the evil incarnate is brilliant as well. I remember in one of the interviews, Denis Villeneuve had called him that he's like this swordsman meets Mick Jagger, and I see that the way in which Austin Butler moves, the last scenes, the climactic showdown where Austin Butler is in true form. It's like watching Gladiator all over again, or Lord of the Rings, etc. This movie just impresses you by its sheer marvelous scale. And this movie does not release this week. It releases in the UAE cinemas on Feb 29th. We get to watch it long before the other territories get to watch it, maybe perhaps because it was shot in Abu Dhabi and Jordan, etc. So there is a Middle East connect as well. So if you're looking for a marvelous and a staggeringly beautiful sci-fi adventure, then this movie is definitely for you. I've gone with 4 out of 5. For my full review, go to gulfnews.com. It's already up there, and tell us what you think of the movie.